Our next speaker is Kateryna Bova. She is the founder and CEO of Bova Community Agency, and Kateryna helps international businesses build and scale thriving B2B and B2C communities through strategic planning, engagement programs, and internal team training. As founder and CEO of Bova Community Agency, she works with clients across tech, education, and consumer brands to turn communities into growth engines that boost loyalty, retention, and brand trust. Beyond consulting, Kateryna is a speaker, podcast host, and mentor, sharing her expertise with founders, startups, and purpose-driven initiatives. Welcome, Kateryna.
Hello. Hi, everyone. Gosh, thank you for introduction. It's so lovely to be here today. Hello.
Welcome, Kateryna. And I can attest for her podcast hosting skills. She hosted the community podcast with us recently, and not just me, everyone she hosted loved her, and it was really amazing.
Thank you, Akash.
The stage is all yours, Kateryna.
Super. Hi, everyone. Hello. I just wanted to say that it's so good and so excited that we can bring in together so many people with different continents. And guys, I just wanted to ask you to write in the chat where you're from, because I know that we have a lot of guys from Europe, Australia, the USA, and I'm from Ukraine now and in Ukraine. So just interested in where you're from, you can write in the chat and I will share my presentation just some seconds. Yeah, let me know everything is okay. Super. I hope that we can start. So, okay, today we are going to tell more about building an effective community strategy. And my name is Kate, as Akash mentioned, and I'm founder and CEO at Bova Community Agency. We help to transform businesses through the power of community building. And yeah, when I started my own agency, I was a blonde. So we are working with different communities and different fields of communities. And actually, I've been working in community building, in partnership management, in educational sphere over the last 10 years. And I saw dozens of examples of different communities from different fields. There were like venture builders, communities around venture builders or around investment funds or around IT products or beauty sphere or business clubs or professional clubs. So different fields all over the world. And this is something what I see regularly when we are working with clients from these different fields and when we are working with people, top managers or with founders. I see one thing, that community without strategy doesn't work. And unfortunately or fortunately, in our sphere, we can't build a powerful community around brands, to build a powerful customer communities or user communities around brand without strategy, or just on your intuition, or just on your assumptions or your predictions, without clear goals, without clear purpose, with random events or with random content. Unfortunately, it doesn't work. And I see this mistake in different clients that working or just want to develop their communities. So when you are a community strategist and you want to help your company, if you are a community manager or if you're a community consultant and you wanted to build a strategy, a powerful strategy for your clients, another company, it could be B2B or a B2C community, doesn't matter. I just want to tell you that you need to know and remember that your founder or your main stakeholder doesn't know how to build the community. And actually, they shouldn't, because they have their own area of expertise, they have their own knowledge, and they don't want, or sometimes they just don't know. And it's your area of expertise to help them to find the best answers. But what the founder and what the stakeholder need to know, why we are building in this way, what for we are building this type and this format of community, how much the community is going to cost. It's a favorite question, how much the community is going to cost, and what's the return. Of course, every founder want to know about ROI, return of investments, and every founder just want to know, okay, if we're building the community, if we have this strategy, what's next? We can win in our marketing or in our sales or in brand management or in our PR, or we wanted to upsell some product, for example, inside the community for our customers, or what's the return? And you as a community strategist, you need to know the answer. And our main goal today is to find how we can find these answers with your teams when you are doing strategy for the business. And I wanted to share here today, just briefly and shortly, because unfortunately I don't have a lot of time today. It's about my personal framework, because it was something natural during working with different communities. A framework for community strategies from helicopter view to grounded action. Why actually helicopter? Because a helicopter rises above the noise, above the chaos, and sees the big picture. And honestly, guys, when you are working with big brands, with companies, with businesses, and you need to build the community strategy, is a big responsibility. Because you're working with big budgets, you're working with high risks, with different stakeholders, with different teams, with different hypotheses, and with different budgets. And you need to understand how everything is working together. You need to combine everything together. And it's a big responsibility, being a community strategist and a community manager who is doing strategy. But actually, the more you be prepared, not perfectly. We don't need perfect document or perfect board with strategy. We are talking about being more prepared to have a plan, to have clear goals, to have clear purpose of our community or of a future community. And the more you be prepared, not perfectly, but more wisely and more specifically, more you and your company will win and your future community will win, because you have a plan, and then you can test a lot of different hypotheses during this plan and during this delivery. So let's talk about framework and about three main parts that this framework consists. So the framework for building community strategy consists of three main parts. It's internal part, external part, and community part. Internal part consists of business audit, goal setting with key stakeholders. It's the main thing. I think that only after that you can go to external part. And actually these three steps, the best way is to do these steps actually step by step after internal part. External part, it's about market analysis, about target audience definition, and about customer development. And second block, when you're creating your strategy, you have a lot of brainstorming, it's community part. I think it's the biggest part, but during this step, you have a lot of data, because you had previously internal part block and external part block that are finished. So community part consists of community architecture, brand and marketing plan, and step-by-step MVP launch and upgrading plan. If, for example, you have already community, but something doesn't work and you wanted to change something, you wanted to fix something, and you wanted to relaunch, you wanted to upgrade your community. So when you have these three components, after that, the best thing is to do execution. And once again, it doesn't mean that you need to do everything perfectly, that you need to do perfect documents. It's not about that, because I hate when you do everything perfectly, but then you just don't have any execution. The deep and main thing here is to find answers in every block of these three blocks, and after that to have different actions, because you know exactly what you should do. So this is like the main thing. And let's talk about every block. I will share also with you some cases that we have had with clients, and I hope that it will be inspired for you. And also my suggestion to you is, when you will be thinking about these different blocks, about these different parts, just try to find something new that you can create, or you can do, or you can add in your work, in your community strategy after this session. So try to think about your community, about your company, and what you can do more, what you can improve with these three blocks. So let's start with internal part. I really love this part, because as I mentioned, everything starts from internal part. So here I wanted to share you one case. It's case of our client. Some months ago, we had a big client. It's one of the biggest and one of the most favorite Ukrainian private university. And they had MBA programs and they have business school. And the main request of this private university to our agency was like Kate, we wanted to be a Harvard, and we wanted to build a Harvard alumni club with our graduates of business school. We checked how many amazing things Harvard does, and we want to do the same. And I say, okay, guys, it's good. It's good when you have a lot of dreams and you have a lot of big goals. Of course, it's good. But let's start smaller and let's think about our reality, because what do we actually have right now? The main thing here when you are doing business audit with your client or with your company is to be honest and to understand clear your point A. It's your real, honest data. And the best thing what help us here is to be not in the universe, but to be in reality. And business audit is about analysis of all relevant documentation and all relevant project that you have now or that you've already done with your audience or for your audience. And it's a lot of brainstorming actually with your team or with your main stakeholders. So here, what you've done to think more about this university, not about Harvard and not about alumni of Harvard, it's core mission and values of your business or of your universities. It wasn't our case. Main goals for the next 1 or 3 years. And here, in my opinion, it's good thing to join different department, because it could be goals, for example, in marketing, in sales, in partnership, in fundraising, and so on and so on. So you need to find all priority goals for the next 1-3 years from different departments. Of course, it's about key business challenges, because when you helping other businesses to build community, it's always about solving a problem. It's always about solving a pain, and it's always helping your company or your client to find new ways of decisions this problem, to new ways how to solve this problem. It's about creating, finding new opportunities, what you can do together with their team to make something better. So, and it's always about goals, about business challenges. It's about previous activities with your audience, because you need to know what you've done before with your audience. It was successful, it was not successful. Of course, it's about available resources that you have, because when we wanted to create a Harvard alumni community, it's also about resources. And our university have these resources, have budget, people resources, and so on. And also one important thing is internal expectations from their community, from different departments, because sales department, it's like wants new lead. A marketing department, something another. A brand management department, it's also about another goal. So you need to understand expectations, and after that, you can create better community strategy. And also it helps to unite all the departments, because you show them that we are working on big goals together, because we can be powerful for everyone. And my favorite question, especially when we're working with this university, what are we risking if we don't invest in the community now? Because my client just was waiting something or had a lot of fear. So I just asked the team, what are we risking if we don't invest in the community now? And we had a lot of big pool, big list of different answers. And with these answers, my team that we are working with, they went to main director of this university, and we started to launch our community quickly. So it's a good question, and I recommend you to ask your stakeholder or your founders. And the second thing, it's about, of course, the purpose, and it's also internal part. It's goal setting with key stakeholders. So it's about increasing sales, about improving customer retention, about creating a platform for partnership, about reducing supporting costs. So you can have a lot of different goals. In our case, it was focused about for partnership, also for referral programs, and for using in a good way the resource of our graduates that we have, and helping them to become a teacher, to become a fundraiser, to become an investor, to become a mentor, to become a mentee. And we focused on these goals. So it was internal part. External part, it's much more interesting. It's about external thing that you have around your company. So first of all, it's market analysis. It's who are your competitors and to understand better how are they engaging with their audience or their community. And I love this part because here you can learn more and to find new killer features, to find something where you could have your value proposition, because market or your competitors, they don't have that. So it's about collecting as much data as possible about your competitors, about their target segments, about audience geography, about community size or structure if they have that, about their monetization model, engagement tactics, and so on and so on. So try to find and try to collect as much data as possible. And of course, the second thing is to understand clear who are your people, not only about their age, gender, roles, and location, because marketing team, I think they have that, but it's more about their needs, their goals, their challenges, their personality traits, their fears, their feedback if they've given about your product or service before, their likes, their dislikes. And I saw a lot of examples when we have the target audience definition clearly, deep, and understand our people, we really can create powerful community because it's based on their needs and their goals. And here I recommend you what we always doing with our clients, because it's important part. It's to do customer development or user research. We have a lot of like names of that, but it's about it's about interviews with your candidates, interviews with your clients, interviews with your users. So I recommend you here to make a short list to do with interviews, with candidates for interviews, to write some hypotheses about pains, about needs, about fears, about values. And the main thing here is just to organize a short call or not short call with your clients, with your user, and try to find what they really want. So you have your interview structure, you understand before what you wanted to ask them, you have some predictions, about their pains, about their needs. And when you have this interview, it's not about texting, it's not about some surveys. You can do also survey, but I really recommend you just to have a call, to have a Zoom, a Google Meet or something, and see your real client, your real candidate, your real people, your real person, and to ask them a lot of questions to find some new ways how you can create community. I recommend you here really good book, The Mom Test. It's very simple, but it helps you to understand how it's better to create questions. And here also small case. For example, we're working with GeekRadar. It's AI tool for different IT companies and especially agencies who are working on Upwork. And when we started to work with this client, we just didn't know who were our customers. And we didn't know nothing. I didn't know anything about our people. And we organized a lot of different interviews. And only after interviews, we founded like different cohorts of main audience, and we understood how we can work, what we can do, and we also find value proposition of our community, and we found it killer feature of our community. So we focused on freelancers, we focused on founders, and the main idea was to do a lot of education about work because they had this big pain and a big need, and we didn't know about that. And second thing is our customers needed to know more about product, how we can use product and to earn more money and to use this product more successfully. So it was also big insight, and all activities, all content we created around these two blocks, around these two pains. And we increased our community in 7 times in a half a year. So it was really successful case only after understanding pains, needs, fears, and values of our customer. And third part, it's community part. It's really big, but I recommend you to find what you really love from these blocks, because a lot of blocks, but what here you can create, about what here you can think. And I recommend also to collaborate on this stage more with your team, because you need a lot of brainstorming here, because you have a lot of data, you have a lot of insights, and this is the best way how you can make them more structured. And after that, of course, you can launch community. So about strategy foundation, first of all, it's community architecture. It's your purpose, your KPI, your core values, your community identity, because here you understand better who is your customer. It's about success metrics, roles, responsibilities, platform that you are using. Of course, it's about community guidelines, entry-exit flows, decision-making process. Here, you can understand clear budget, resources, and cost tracking, because especially for founders or your stakeholders, it's important to understand, okay, we have a lot of ideas, we have big, wonderful, powerful strategy, but how much? How much, guys? Budget, resources, cost tracking. And of course, if you understand how you can earn more money, we were talking today about goals. Yeah, it will be upsell, or maybe you can do a subscription model club or something. So here you need to understand how you can do this ROI and how you can return money for this community. So first is community architecture. Second thing is brand and marketing. And highly recommend here also to collaborate with marketing manager or brand manager or even PR specialist. Or if you have this background, it will be amazing, because it's more not about census, not about deep structure, not about collaboration between people. It's more about how real looks like. And it's about your brand and visual identity. It's about your communication, about your promotion channels, key messages, tone of voice, and of course, first member acquisition plan, because here you can have a lot of different ways how you can do that. Unfortunately, it's a big lecture, another lecture, but just try to think about these 4 blocks in brand and marketing sphere. And third thing, of course, is step-by-step MVP launch and upgrading plan. What I see when we are working with client, and for example, we have strategic session together, their favorite question, it's like, okay, but we need to know exactly step-by-step, small step that we need to do after strategic session. Everyone needs to understand not only big picture with different fields, but also small thing that we can do day by day to launch our community for different departments. So here you can write, you can draw a community journey map. It's of course detailed plan for the first 3 months, and that is why this is MVP, because you need to test a lot of hypotheses. You need to see how people react, what you can change, what you can add. It's forecast for 6, 9, 12 months, and it's not detailed plan. It's forecast, because you will change a lot of things when you will see a feedback from your clients and from participants of community. And of course, it's timelines, deadlines, and team roles. So a lot of things here. Oh, actually, I wanted to say here one case. It's also our client. It's one big Ukrainian venture builder, Clust. And the thing is, their request was, we want to have more founders inside our venture builder. So we feel that we need to create something for founders around our brand, around our venture builder, but we don't know exactly what we need to do. And actually, they had a lot of different questions, and we tried to find also value proposition of their community or their future community. And sometimes when you are building strategy and when you're doing these 3 steps, because we did exactly these 3 steps, we found after CustDev, after market analysis, that the best way to start is to organize educational program or educational project. And after that, unite different customers. So that is why for now, we had our second acceleration program. And after this acceleration program, some founders becoming new founders inside venture builder, and it was a big goal of business. But second thing, we also unite different founders that are not inside venture builder, but they have a big potential to work together with this venture builder in the future. And we can organize for them different events, different peer-to-peer sessions. We can give them a lot of different benefits from venture builders. This is also about reputation, about building a trust with our main audience, and to work with potential future, because in the future, they could be potential founders, and to bring a lot of money inside venture builder, doing some project together as a co-founder of venture builder. So, I mean, why strategy is important? Because you can see during the steps a lot of new opportunities, because this client, they didn't want to do any educational programs, but it was a good market fit for them. So that is why we are working on that. And it's really a successful story. So recommend you to do the same during these 3 steps. So, and to summarize, because I see time, a strategy gives you a helicopter view. the horizon, obstacles, the opportunities, and you have this big picture. And when you're working with these pictures, I again recommend you to remember about these three big blocks: internal part, external part, and community part. And after that, do any execution and to show your stakeholder, your founder, and your client results of every block. And you will see how in this synergy, you can create something really amazing and something really powerful. So now you've seen the full landscape, you've mapped the vision, and the real work begins here step by step. So what's your next step? Thank you so much.
Thank you, Kate. Thank you so much. That was really inspiring and really eye-opening. I think it's we can say that it's good to take some time before launching a new community. Do your research, talk to a lot of people, have a lot of conversation within the team, outside the team. Take your time. Take your time before rushing into it. So, are you ready for a few questions?
Yeah, for sure. If we have, of course.
Sure. So Sane is asking, there are so many options for the real purpose, and it's also no possible to focus on all of them. What are your tips to define the top three or whatever number goals, purpose? Like, what are your tips to define the top three goals and purpose?
Easy. How we can do that with our clients? I always ask them, what is your main pain now? And for example, some clients, they say, our main pain now is sales. Okay, we can do something together. Or for example, for some clients, and I see the company is more bigger, they have good marketing, good sales, and for them, the big pain that they don't have emotion connection with their clients, and they don't have any feedback from their clients. And this is actually 1 week ago story. We also started to work with one client, and for them, the biggest reason to create community was to unite all of their clients, because they didn't do that. And they wanted to unite them because they wanted to have more feedback about their about how you can understand it. It's just to ask your founder, what is the main pain for your business now? Or what is the main focus of your business for the next 1 year? And it helps me always. And we focus really on 1 to maximum 3 goals, because 3 is a lot. And every goal, of course, you can create some detailed plan how you can achieve something in this sphere. Don't worry, and do not have any fear to ask more about that your founders. It's really important. You are not alone in this process, because it's about business. It's always about business.
Yeah, I hope that answers your question, Sane. And we are at the time. We are gonna take all the questions and we're gonna save them. We're gonna get you your answers. Tali, Daniel, thank you for sharing your questions, and thank you, Kate, for coming in today, sharing your experience with us. It was really great hosting you. Thank you.
Thank you, guys. So yeah, we'll be happy to see you on LinkedIn. If you have any questions, you can just write me on LinkedIn, and we'll be happy to help you. And thank you for inviting me. Akash, thank you for moderating.
Thank you.
Yeah. See you guys. Thank you.